Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for coming back to my channel for another video, or if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Darlene and I'm glad to have you here. So for today's video, it's going to be another where it is kind of like, technically this is a missing persons case, and I'm going to get into more detail on why it's a missing persons case since this case is technically solved. But you guys, if you like these kinds of videos, please subscribe. I will be posting a lot more of these more frequently. I know I said for the month of January I was going to be posting one of these every Wednesday, but you guys, these videos are a lot harder to do rather than beauty videos or lifestyle videos. They take so much more research and just more time. I mean, I kind of already expected it, but I just didn't realize how much really in-depth research I had to do. It's literally like preparing for an essay if you were in school or something. So, I mean, I absolutely love it. I'm not complaining. It's a passion of mine and I love things and cases like this, so I absolutely love it. It's just taking me a little bit longer because I just want to make sure I get the correct information for y'all, and yeah, so be patient with me for like these videos. More and more are coming, so don't you worry. But today's case is going to be about Clara Lamar. She was a 15-year-old girl from Morgan Hill, California. She was a girl who absolutely loved social media. She loved taking pictures and taking videos. I can totally relate to this because when I was in high school, I remember getting my very first camera and I would always take it to school. I would always take pictures of my friends and I, and you know, record like silly videos. I always had a camera with me and I was always that annoying friend that whipped out the camera when something dumb happened. So I totally understand how she just loved, the camera and just, just recording and like being silly with her friends. She was also very popular. She was a cheerleader at her high school. So the day she went missing was on March 16th in 2012. So Clara was supposed to walk to the bus stop and she was supposed to arrive there by 7:20 to be picked up and taken to school. However, Clara did not arrive at all. Unfortunately, she never made it to the bus stop. The bus driver didn't really think anything of it since she was the only person to be at that stop, so they went ahead and moved along. She was also last seen right before she walked to the bus stop by her mother at about 7 a.m. However, one of her friends named Carissa, she actually was the last person to technically hear from Clara. She texted her around 7:11 a.m. asking her to bring her makeup to school so that she could, borrow some of her makeup. Clara did respond with the just literally YE, and I think that's like a shortened version for yes. I actually think, now that I'm thinking about it, like I used to text like that back in high school, so that was just like, yes, I'll bring my makeup to school, like you can borrow it. They had made plans to meet up, and that was it. At about 3:45 p.m., Clara's mother finally realized that her daughter had never made it to school. The school did notify her then and there, and if you're asking me, I think that's a little bit late for them to notify her. I remember when I was in high school, the moment you skipped a class or you weren't there within like 10 minutes, the school would automatically send a text to, I think it was like your parents or whatever phone number you provided for your guardian or parent, and they would notify you that your child didn't make it to class. So I think for them to literally wait all day, that is just a little bit crazy. And I think I feel like had Clara's mother known that she wasn't at school, she would have gone searching for her daughter. So literally from 7 to 3, so much could have happened in that time frame that it's just crazy how she was not notified, and I believe she probably would have been found, or maybe things would have been, just a lot different when the search happened for her. Clara's mother did report her missing, and they frantically began searching for her. When the police arrived the next day, Clara's father actually did admit to the police. He came forward and let them know that he was a registered sex offender. I think in his case, this really helped him out in his favor because he was immediately ruled out as suspect. He was not a person of interest by any means, and I think that had been really hard for him to admit to the officers that he wasn't a registered sex offender. But I think it would have been a lot worse had he not said anything, and later on he could have possibly been a person of interest since he didn't release that information. On March 17th, Clara's phone was found just a few blocks from the bus stop, and that is when her mother knew that something bad definitely happened, because Clara didn't go anywhere without her phone. It was attached to her hip, as any teenager, even someone like me, my phone is attached to my hip. So once her mother knew that her phone was found, she had like a gut feeling that something horrible had happened to her daughter. On March 18th, Clara's purse was found along with all of her clothing. It was actually all nicely folded, and that is just extremely strange. It was found in a field, I believe just a few blocks away from where her cell phone was found. On March 28th, there was evidence found from an unidentified male and from Antolin Garcia Torres. It was actually, I don't remember if it was actually found. I couldn't find the exact thing, if it was found on her bag or in her clothes. Either way, her clothes were inside her bag, but evidence was obviously found of him and another unidentified male. On May 8th, Antolin's car was impounded. He drove a red Volkswagen Jetta, and they actually found Sierra's DNA inside the car and on items inside his vehicle. On May 21st, Antolin was finally arrested outside of the Safeway, which he did work at. After this, the search for Sierra lasted for years, you guys. It is so incredibly sad how much and how long and what these people did to search for her every single day. I'm getting chills talking about it, but they searched and searched during all weather conditions, watching the video footage of them searching, and people that searched for her stuck there from the very beginning were there to the very, very end, and they really didn't stop searching. They searched all hours of the day, all day, almost every day. However, none of the searches ever led to her or her body or her remains, and that is just so incredibly sad that her body was never ever found. And it's just also really crazy because I don't know a lot of cases where somebody is already arrested, suspected for murdering somebody, but there was no body found. But police did think that even though there was no body, that she was absolutely, definitely murdered. So on May 4th, 2017, the trial finally began, a whole 5 years later. And I actually did keep up with this trial just because it was very interesting, and obviously it just happened last year. And this trial kept getting pushed back and pushed back. There was obviously conflict with Antolin's lawyer, and based on what I read and kind of what I followed up on is that since there was no body found, it obviously kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and finally they had the trial a whole 5 years later. On May 9th, Antolin Torres Garcia was actually found guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He was convicted of first-degree murder of Sierra Lamar, and he was also attempted of kidnapping 3 women in 2009. And you guys, this automatically screams that I just 100% believe he did it. Obviously, I definitely think he did it. If he already attempted to kidnap 3 people in 2009, he obviously got away with kidnapping and doing something to Sierra. During the trial, one thing that really frustrated me, and I just am like, it's very sad, and I do believe that the way people are in the future, and obviously murder, serial rapists, just people who are just do bad things, they obviously did something happened to them in their childhood to make them be this way. I don't think someone is born this way. Something has to happen for them to feel these feelings and do these things. I don't agree with it in any way. I would never think that that is okay, but I think that if people are like this, it's because it's something that happened to them in their past or in their childhood, or it's because this had happened to them. And Antolin's lawyer gave a testimony of how his father sexually abused him and how the poverty he faced led him to all of his bad decisions in life. And it is very sad, but when you're dealing with a murder case, I understand that his lawyers are to defend him, but it just drives me crazy. I could never be a defense lawyer. I couldn't even be a lawyer anyways, but I just don't understand how you can defend a criminal. I used to work at a law firm, and one of the girls that worked there, she actually came from a defense firm, and I was like, girl, I could never work for the defense team. If you guys watch How to Get Away with Murder, she was a defense lawyer, and that's just crazy to me. It's just absolutely crazy to me because they're trying to make it seem like it's okay. I don't know, that's a whole another topic in itself, but it just really frustrated me. Really frustrated me. Another thing that extremely frustrates me is that Antolin claims his innocence. He says that he has never seen Sierra. He has never heard of her. He doesn't know who she is. And at this point, he is found guilty. And if he did do something to her, he did murder her, he did kidnap her. It couldn't have even been where this unidentified male did something to her, and maybe Antolin is covering it up. I don't know what the deal is, but he already has life in prison. I just don't understand how he's just so selfish and just so cold-hearted that he won't give Sierra's family the peace of mind. And to find their daughter, to give her a proper burial, it's just absolutely, it just gets me, guys. It gets me how people, they live their whole lives and they just don't say these things. Antolin, he's gonna live his entire life and he's gonna know what happened to her. and her family is never going to know. Alrighty guys, so that concludes this case. I know this was a short one, but you guys, this one really got to me. I am technically considering this a missing persons case since her body was not found. But you guys, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. Also, you guys, make sure that you leave me any suggestions of any cases that you want me to cover down below. I would love to, you know, find other cases to research, even smaller cases. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for sticking around. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you like these videos. I also do other videos of, you know, beauty, lifestyle, makeup, things like that. If you are into those videos, great. If you're not, if you're here for these, then thank you either way. But you guys, thank you so much for watching again, and I will just see you guys soon. Have a good night. Stay blessed and safe wherever you are, and I'll just talk to you guys soon. Bye.